2 years ago, Alex Hormozi broke YouTube when he did the world's largest ever business livestream to announce his new book, $100 Million Leads. But what if I told you he just did it again, but nobody noticed? Buried in the mountain of Alex's 2025 YouTube content is a 6-video series of pure genius, which if you copy, could be your golden ticket to high quality leads and more sales for your business if you run an educational YouTube channel. Here's the basic premise. Building a business of X value for a stranger in Y minutes. This is brilliant. Alex has realized that the traditional television show format of shows like Dragon's Den and Shark Tank, which are super exciting for the average consumer, with just a few tweaks, could become the ultimate form of educational content. Here's how he did it and how you can replicate it on even a tiny budget. First off, he needed to remove the pomp and circumstance of traditional TV, since those shows are really for building suspense around whether a famous entrepreneur would like to invest lots of money in some silly new wacky adventure. Alex flipped the script and thought, instead of having people pitch me their business, and I'll tear them to shreds for a laugh, I'll actually have them pitch me the problems in their business, and I will give them instant solutions to those problems and sell the audience watching on big outcomes, like he does in this video for Ben, who's a high-ticket cocktail consultant. The structures and medium of these videos are pure genius. It's incredibly dynamic, forcing the viewer to re-engage every minute or so when the medium changes. The main video starts with the entrepreneur guests presenting their business offering, whilst Alex asks questions for more context and to steer the conversation. The layout of the presentation is logical, with both Alex and the viewer having a super clear understanding of what Ben's cocktail consulting business does, making it really easy for you to watch.
We are bar and beverage program development specialists. In 2024, we did 1.1 million in revenue.
So what's the goal? What do you want to do?
3 million by the end of 2025.
Big goals.
But then they shift gears and get out a big piece of paper and start brainstorming ideas, breaking down processes, and running high-level numbers.
From people just ordering the things to getting excited when they open up your menu and having, your restaurant featured in some of these types of magazines, which honestly doesn't take as long as you'd think as soon as you make these types of changes.
This shows Alex's ability to break down in real time how a business operates, where the problems are, which of those are important to focus on, and how to fix those problems. Next, Alex and Ben have examples of Ben's consulting advertising campaigns and sales funnels on screen, which they can then go through live and further analyze. This gives the viewer a true understanding of how the business is actually driving its sales, down to specific details like how the copy is written and how the landing page is structured, which makes it feel very real because most viewers will have their own business where they also run ads and have landing pages. This takes out all of the traditional TV show hypotheticals where all of the nitty-gritty business stuff is just hidden behind a curtain, and instead puts them on full display so some real learning can take place and the viewer can take away real actionable points for their own sales funnels. Simply brilliant. If you wanted to copy this video concept for your own YouTube channel, here's step 1 of 2 in the framework to do it. First, you need to establish the viewer, the content, and the payoff for the video, and that needs to map perfectly onto your customer, your offer, and the outcome you get those customers with your business. For example, my customers are solo entrepreneurs who make educational YouTube videos to generate leads for their business, and my offer is a one-to-one coaching program to deliver an outcome of better quality viewers and more leads for their business. So I can translate that into Alex's video series structure with a title like this: Building a $1 million YouTube business for a stranger in 20 minutes. But going back to Alex's video, there's way more to unpack here. Alex also has built a full 8-stage model scaling roadmap for business owners, which anyone can use as the core framework to take their business from one phase of growth to the next. And during this video with Ben, he actually brings out that scaling roadmap and uses it as a very clever teaching tool, which shows it has real-world application. Now, Alex offers that roadmap completely for free, but imagine if that roadmap was something you had made for your business and it was a low-ticket product that you sold as a stepping stone to getting new customers before selling them your high-ticket offer. You'd have actually just found the perfect organic advertisement for it because you've proven its utility before you've even asked the viewer to go and buy it. Then once they've bought it, read through it, and started using it, they begin to truly appreciate your value to deliver. Now, because they're comfortable buying from you already, you've set the scene perfectly to then upsell them your more in-depth product, and in a sense, that's exactly what Alex is doing. He's demonstrating to you, both via the scaling roadmap and the video, his ability to affect multiples of change on a real business. So then if you're a business owner in his target market, you'll go to acquisition.com and either book an in-person seminar or apply to work directly with Alex and his team. Let's go back to the video structure. Whilst Alex and Ben are discussing how to rebuild his sales funnel and reposition his consulting offer, Alex keeps doing pattern interrupts where the camera changes to a talking head clip of Alex, where he's actually retrospectively interjecting more context and deeper explanations for the viewer. This helps not only boost viewer retention, but it boosts the viewer's understanding in case there was any sort of technical terminology or concept that they might not be familiar with. So step 2 of the framework for creating this video series works like this. First, I'd establish at least 3 different video mediums that I'll jump cut between in my video that helps the viewer get a full understanding of what I'm actually delivering. For me, that would be calls with my clients where I'm giving one-to-one coaching, then talking head portions like this where I share more context to the viewer and explain what my thought process is for what questions I'm asking and why I'm coming up with certain ideas.
One of my personal favorites is just knock off $1,500 per quarter. We knock it off. That way we spread the discount over 4 quarters. I gave Ben 2 different ways of applying the discount. I prefer spreading discounts.
This is the crucial part of the video because not all of my viewers have all of the specific knowledge that me and my clients have, so in order to make the video more accessible to every viewer, I need to interject those parts. Then I need a third medium, which could be me screen sharing either frameworks that I've made or someone's YouTube channel to make the video feel more interactive and tangible for the viewer. These extra video mediums don't just add nuance to my videos, making them more valuable, it freshens up the viewer's experience because watching just a flat Zoom call for 20 minutes straight would be really dull regardless of who's speaking. This video series is perfect for demystifying what my business offering is because it's literally on full display. So I don't have to give a sales pitch in the video to the viewer through a lengthy call to action because, well, it's very obvious what I offer because I've just shown it to you in the video. Then they'll see the link in the description to work with me and go to my website, and then when leads are actually watching my VSL and reading about my coaching offer, they actually have a proper grasp on what the coaching is like and will feel much more confident in applying. The way Alex packages these videos is clever and a little bit sneaky. Take a look at this hook. Alex introduces the client Ben, his business, the problems he's having with them, and he gives a clear roadmap for how the video is going to play out from identifying the 3 main areas that they're going to focus on, and then suggesting they'll deep dive into each topic. And Alex introduces himself whilst positioning as an authority in growing businesses. All of that in just under 35 seconds in what is an hour-long video. This clearly uses Alex's proof, promise, plan framework, where you make a promise of what you're going to do, in this case breaking down Ben's business and giving him some growth solutions. He also shows the plan, which is the roadmap he outlines for the video, and then the proof, in this case being Alex's own credibility. This hook also makes use of one of my core hook principles, which is to keep your hook length to under the equivalent number of seconds that your video is minutes long. So if you have a 10-minute video, you can do up to a maximum 10-second intro. This is to match people's viewing consumption psychology with your hook length. A person who has the patience to watch an hour-long video will happily watch a 35-second intro, but a person who watches a 10-minute video will absolutely not watch a 35-second intro. So, I mentioned Alex's packaging being a little bit sneaky. Oh, that sounds really wrong, but what I mean is the title, Building a $3 Million Business for a Stranger in 57 Minutes, plays a little trick on some viewers, as you could interpret it as him literally building the business to that level in that period of time, when of course in reality, he's just outlining the changes that he believes will get the business to that level. So that $3 million number isn't exactly solid, but it's not total nonsense either, because at the end of the video he summarizes all of the changes he thinks Ben should make, and what level of impact he thinks that would have on the business, and that brings you to roughly $3 million a year. But that's not the only reason that this title structure is really clever. It actually achieves a few things alongside this little trick. It makes it really clear who the video is for, since it has the word business in the title. It also sells the viewer on the outcome, which is the dollar amount shown, which puts the viewer in the stranger's shoes, as they can imagine how they themselves would also like to get to $3 million a year. So maybe this video is helpful for them also. And it also condenses the amount of time the viewer thinks it will take them to learn how to do this, since each video in this series has a minute number of how long it took to break down the stranger's business model. This title then connects perfectly, and I mean perfectly, to the thumbnail, as each thumbnail has a blue grid background exactly like a builder blueprint, and it also has a basic flowchart showing you the core focal points of each video.